why buying a home might make sense again in 2025. After years of skyrocketing housing costs and high mortgage rates, 2025 might just be the year where owning a home becomes a smart move again. With interest rates starting to decline and rents continuing to rise, the tide is shifting for homeowners. In this video, I will break down why buying your own home could finally make sense in 2025. We will compare falling mortgage rates to ever-increasing rents and explore what this means for your long-term wealth. If you have been waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Let's dive in. So let's assume you're currently paying rent of 1,500 euros cold, okay? Just as an example. If you would have bought an apartment or a house last year, the calculation would be as follows. If you buy something for yourself, you probably want to have something pretty in a good location, so you have a certain value behind, obviously. So let's assume you buy something for 500,000. So you buy an apartment for 500,000 in 2024, you would have to pay 4% interest, and you would have to pay 2% principal rate. In German, it's Tilgung. So together, it's the mortgage rate. Okay, interest, repayment. So we have 6% in total. If you have to repay 6%, let's calculate easily. We have 6% on 500, so we would have 30,000 euros mortgage, would be 2,500 euros per month mortgage rate. Okay? Again, just to have easy numbers here. So now 2,500 in comparison to 1,500. Now you have also some so-called Nebenkosten in German for electricity, water, and all the other stuff, tax that you have to pay, owner's tax, which is paid by you if you own the apartment and move in yourself. So we are probably talking about 3,300 euros. It's obviously a difference in comparison to, let's say, 1,500 cold, so 1,700, 1,800 warm. Makes a huge difference. And you always have to be careful. You shouldn't use all your budget for your house because otherwise you don't have enough money to save for, let's say, retirement or to create bigger real estate wealth or more wealth in general. Okay? So this was the situation in 2024. But let's compare to 2025. So 2025, same mortgage, let's say 500,000, because prices have not risen yet. But if interest rate comes down a lot, then prices will grow significantly. So we have to be fast, and that's the reason why it might make sense in 2025, because you still have more or less reasonable prices. But on the other side, we will have also reasonable interest rates. But if one or the other is too high or too low, well, then this has an impact, obviously. So we have 500,000 euros. Now, interest rate will drop to, let's say, 2.5%. Then we have another still 2% repayment. So we have 4.5 in total. So I just needed to calculate. It is 22,500 annually divided by 12 would be 1,875. And now you see a big difference. It's the same apartment, same house, but now you are saving 775 euros per month. And if we now compare 1,875 with the cold rent of 1,500, 1,875 is 275 euros difference. Well, for 275 euros more, well, then it obviously makes sense that you buy a home. Then it makes sense because the numbers are not that different. And then it makes sense that you switch or that you stop paying the rent, that you currently pay, and you move that money into your own real estate asset. But we have to compare what is your budget, how would the financing actually look like? Can we even reduce the interest rate here if we put more money down? Because if you move in yourself, interest is not tax deductible, so it makes sense here to invest more equity capital. So we could reduce that even more, but this depends on the situation. In this video, I just wanted to show you that you see this huge difference and how important prices in comparison to interest becomes. Like I mentioned before, if the price obviously grows significantly, well, then there is probably not a big difference here. And then it still would be really expensive. But in 2025, it's not yet expected, at least until the end of the year, at least the expectation, that prices will grow significantly. But if the market understands we have 2.5% now, well, then more and more people will move into the real estate market and more people will buy real estate. And what happens then? Well, we have demand and supply. So if there are just more people who would be willing to pay 500, then someone else would say, I would pay 5.5. Another one would say I would pay 510 or 515 or 520, and then it's a bidding war, and in the end, it doesn't make sense from a financial perspective anymore. So, in my opinion, my recommendation, I would plan an investment in your home for Q2 or Q3. I'm not saying that before or afterwards it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, and this is my prediction, okay, that Q2 or Q3 is probably the sweet spot because interest will not be too low. So prices won't grow until then so much, or even if. So we still have good prices. We have a good interest rate. Because in 2026, it might be the case that the interest rate is 2% or 2.2. But believe me, latest at that point, prices will grow significantly. So to target Q2 or to target Q3 definitely makes sense, maybe end of Q2. If you already have the budget, if you have the down payment handy, and you're just waiting for a real estate purchase, then I would recommend now we have January, start looking for apartments, start looking for houses, for sure. Because it takes some time until you actually buy the house. You know, this is a long process because many parties are involved, the notary, the seller, the property agent, and so on. But in general, I would target Q2, Q3, that you actually make a decision and that you actually go to the notary and sign the purchase contract. And since it takes 2 to 6 months on average, depends on many factors, I would suggest that you start looking now if you're in the position. And if you're not yet in the position, I would prepare myself in the best possible way to get to that position as soon as possible. Just so you know, if you would like to have some advice on how to evaluate the property, how do you negotiate the price, how can you be in the best possible position to be the buyer, real estate financing, everything in guidance that you need, feel free to reach out. We are happy to help. Let's summarize. Owning a home might make sense again in 2025. So, as we have seen, 2025 could be a turning point for aspiring homeowners. With falling interest rates, making mortgages more affordable, and rents reaching all-time highs, buying a home isn't just about having a place to live, it's about making a strategic financial decision. If this video gave you clarity or inspiration, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into real estate trends, smart investing, and building long-term wealth. And let me know in the comments, are you considering buying a home in 2025 or are you still weighing your options? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.